There is an animal on a blade of grass in your yard right now that has been waiting 2 years for you to walk past. It does not move. It does not eat. It just waits, with its front legs in the air. Tonight, you are going to wake up sitting on it. You open your eyes. You are lying on something curved, glossy, domed like the hood of a car, a deep amber brown color, the kind of brown that has wet shine to it. You sit up. There are no walls. There is no ceiling. There is a sky above you, and it is too close. Soft green blades of grass tower over your head like skinny green skyscrapers, swaying. You look down. The thing you are sitting on has a body. It has 8 legs. The front 2 are in the air, held perfectly still, pointing at nothing. And the rest of the legs are gripping the grass blades so hard the surface beneath you doesn't shift a millimeter, even in the wind. You don't know it yet, but you have just landed on the back of a tick. And this tick has been on this exact blade for almost 8 months. That is one phase of a life that can last 2 to 3 years. Hatching to final meal. This tick is roughly halfway through its existence. Waiting. You don't know how long you sit there. The first thing you notice is the silence. There is no movement under you. No breath. No twitch. Most animals at this scale are constantly micro-moving, adjusting, scratching, drinking. This one is doing none of it. It is doing what acarologists call questing. Daniel Sonnenschein at Old Dominion University, in his 2014 textbook on tick biology, describes questing as the act of holding the front legs raised for hours or even days, motionless, waiting for a host to brush past. But it is not waiting blindly, so you should look closer at those front legs. You crawl forward, slowly. On the inside of the first segment of each raised leg, there is a small pit, a tiny depression in the cuticle, almost like a thumbprint. That pit has a name. It's called Haller's organ, and it is the reason this animal has not moved in 8 months. Haller's organ is a sensory pit. It can smell carbon dioxide. It can sense body heat. It can detect ammonia from sweat, lactic acid from skin, and the specific cocktail of chemicals that a mammal exhales when it breathes nearby. A 2009 paper in the journal Naturwissenschaften found that some species can detect a host from over 15 feet away. So when this tick raised its front legs 8 months ago, it was not standing still. It was pointing 2 chemical antennas at the universe, listening. You sit back. You let that land for a second. This is not a hunter that chases. This is a hunter that arrives at your skin because you, breathing, walked into its sensor cone. You turn around. You look at the rest of the creature underneath you. The body is flat and shield-shaped, pale around the edges, darker in the center. There is a hard plate across its shoulders called a scutum. There is a tiny pair of mouthparts at the front, folded inward, sharp, ridged, like a barbed harpoon tip the size of a fingernail clipping. There is also something else near the head, a ring of crusted material around the mouthparts. Pale, almost ceramic-looking. You don't know what that is yet. You will. Tell me you would have noticed it. Most people don't. The tick has not moved. Not once. It is patient in a way that is genuinely difficult to describe. There are 900 known species of tick. This one is probably what the CDC catalogs as Ixodes scapularis, the black-legged tick. The kind that, in the United States in 2022, was responsible for an estimated 476,000 cases of Lyme disease. That is not a typo. You sit on its back. You look up at the grass canopy. Something has changed in the air. You don't smell it. You don't see it. But the tick does. Then the legs lift. The front legs rise higher. The grip on the grass tightens. You feel the body beneath you tense. Not muscle. Hydraulic pressure. Ticks don't have muscles in the way mammals do. They move by pumping fluid through their legs. And right now, that fluid is pumping faster. Something is approaching. You hear it before you see it. Footsteps. Heavy. Rhythmic. The grass canopy 10 feet ahead of you is parting. Something massive is walking through. You see fabric. A wall of dark blue denim. moving in slow motion at your scale. A human, a hiker. Their leg is brushing the top of the grass. They have no idea what is on the blade in front of them. But here is the part you are not ready for. The tick does not jump. Ticks cannot jump. They cannot fly. They cannot even run very fast. So the tick does the only thing it has spent 8 months preparing to do. It waits for the fabric to touch the grass blade, and in the half second the denim brushes past, the tick lets go of the grass with its back legs and grabs the fiber with its front legs. The transfer takes less than a second. The grass blade snaps back, empty. You and the tick are now riding on the side of a human leg. You hold on. The world is a hurricane of dark blue fiber. You can smell warm cotton, skin, sweat, sunscreen. The tick is climbing, not running, walking, methodically, up the denim, over the waistband, onto skin. The skin is pale and slightly damp. The hiker breathes. You feel it as a slow expansion beneath you, ribs lifting, lungs filling, then collapsing back. The tick doesn't react. To it, the breath is just another timing signal. To you, it is the realization that you are riding on a person's spine. The tick keeps climbing, up the lower back, up the spine, into the dense, warm hair at the base of the neck where a human cannot easily reach, where the skin is thin, where the blood is close. The tick stops. It lowers its head. The mouth parts unfold. There are 2 paired structures called chelicerae. They look like tiny serrated scalpels. They start to saw, side to side, cutting a hole in the skin underneath you. You can feel the vibration through the body you're sitting on. A faint mechanical rasping, like the smallest saw in the world. The human does not flinch, doesn't slap, doesn't reach back, doesn't know. And here is the killer fact. The reason the human doesn't feel it is because tick saliva is one of the most pharmacologically complex substances in nature. A 2017 review in Frontiers in Cellular and Infection Microbiology cataloged over 3,500 distinct proteins in tick saliva. It contains anesthetics that numb the bite site, anticoagulants that keep blood flowing, immunosuppressants that switch off the host's inflammatory response, and cement proteins that harden into the ceramic ring you saw earlier, the one you didn't ask about. So the tick is not just feeding, it is medically sedating the host, surgically, while building a cement anchor at the same time. From your seat on its back, you watch it happen in real time. A pale fluid leaks from the head. It pools around the buried mouthparts. It begins to crystallize. Within seconds, the cement has hardened into a ring around the wound, locking the tick in place. You realize you are now glued to the side of a human for up to 10 days. The human cannot pull this tick off by force. The cement will hold. The head will rip and stay buried in the skin while the body comes away in their hand. You're sitting on the back of an animal that just performed an operation on a person, and the patient hasn't noticed. The next part is the worst, because the host is about to walk home with something in their bloodstream that took 2 years to deliver. The tick begins to swell. You feel it as a slow earthquake. The flat shield beneath you starts to round, then to dome, then to balloon. Ticks can drink up to 600 times their unfed body weight in blood. The mouthparts are anchored. The blood is flowing. You hold on as the body inflates underneath you, the shell stretching, the surface going from rigid to taut to almost soft. You are riding on a parasite while it drinks from a person. But inside the saliva, something else is being transmitted in the other direction. Pathogens. Borrelia burgdorferi, the spiral-shaped bacterium that causes Lyme disease, lives in the tick's gut. As the tick feeds, the bacteria migrate from the gut up into the salivary glands and down into the bite. From your seat, you can feel the body's internal rhythm shifting, fluid moving in 2 directions at once. A 2001 study in the Journal of Infectious Diseases by Sam Telford at Tufts found that 24 hours of attachment is roughly the threshold where Lyme transmission becomes likely. Some species transmit Powassan virus in under 15 minutes. Some carry anaplasma. Some carry babesia. One species, the Lone Star tick, leaves behind a sugar molecule called alpha-gal that can rewire the host's immune system to be permanently allergic to red meat. Thomas Platts Mills at the University of Virginia first identified this in 2009. Tens of thousands of Americans have been diagnosed since. Above you, the human's hand drifts back. You freeze. The fingers come close, brush the hair, scratch absently somewhere 2 inches away from you, and drift back down. They felt nothing. You exhale. Tell me you'd have noticed something was wrong. Most people don't. After several hours, the tick is full. The body underneath you is now spherical, the color of a dark grape, taut as a water balloon. The cement starts to soften. The mouth parts withdraw. The tick releases. You and the bloated body fall together into the grass beneath the host's boots. The hiker walks on. They will not know they were a host until weeks later, if ever. You wake up in your bed, normal size. The sheets are warm. The sun is coming through the window. Somewhere in the lawn beyond your wall, a different tick is on a different blade of grass, with its front legs raised. It has been there for 6 months. It will wait 2 more if it has to. According to a 2022 Yale School of Public Health study, black-legged ticks are now established in counties that had 0 recorded ticks in 1996. Their range has been expanding north and west every year for the last 3 decades. Lyme disease incidence has roughly doubled in 20 years. Alpha-gal allergy is being diagnosed in states that had never seen the Lone Star tick before. The thing on the grass blade outside your window has more habitat now than it had when you were born. And here is the part that should bother you. Most people who get a tick-borne illness do not remember the bite. The saliva worked. The anesthetic was complete. The cement was perfect. The host walked home. The host went to bed. The host woke up 3 weeks later with a rash, or a fever, or a stiff knee, or no symptoms at all. And a problem in their bloodstream that took 2 years of waiting on a grass blade to deliver. Tonight, you sat on the back of a hunter that doesn't run. Next time, tiny you wakes up somewhere even quieter, inside the silk web of something that has been hanging in your basement